first week of summer ball is wrapped up. Highlight being an open practice on Saturday this past weekend at Huntington Bank Stadium. Some of the highlights were lots of Max Brosmer praise. He seems to be a legit quarterback, and I'm excited to see him this season. I'm sure you both are as well. Marcus Major, the running back, the graduate transfer, is looking explosive and is getting heavy praises from coaches. So it'll really be interesting to see, will he kind of take on the reins fully? Will it be kind of the 1-2 punch with Darius Taylor? That much is to be seen. O-line is looking very strong early. And defensively, Devin Eastern is a standout on the defensive interior. I personally think that this defensive line, I think we've mentioned it before, is going to be one of the best we've seen in many years, probably since dating back since the Kill was here. But yeah, what do you guys think? Anything stand out after this first week of summer camp?
I'll let Max go first.
um, I don't know. I feel like it's hard because you read like what a lot of the coaches talk about, and it's just they're really not saying a whole lot. I mean, they definitely sound excited, which is good, but they're very clearly trying to say everyone's name and get everyone kind of in the mix and include everybody. So there's really no clear like okay, they talked about this one guy a lot, but at the same time, I mean, they've really harped on like the defense's ability, and like every single day there's something that they're getting better and kind of figuring out the new Corey Heatherman defense. And like you said, they did talk about the depth at D line, and some guys they kind of Heatherman talked about it having like positionless players that's going to be pretty vital if we have more versatility there, that more guys can kind of plug in and play in different packages. And yeah, offensively too, if they're really as deep as they're making it sound like at wide receiver and running back, and if Rosemer's really as cerebral as they're talking about, then I don't know. I'm excited about what they're saying, but it's still kind of a lot of nothing at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we got Co Sibs. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your handle there, but he says that Eastern and Smith look good Saturday night. That's awesome. I'm
Yeah.
really hoping. I have high expectations this year, honestly. Curdy, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's funny that we heard Anthony Smith getting bumped inside. I think we speculated that a few months ago,
Yeah,
actually, on this podcast as just a preseason show. So I think PJ referenced it as like a speed package or something. I'm guessing based on how he was talking about, we have something in the works of how like Mike Zimmer used to move Daniil Hunter inside or Everson Griffin inside, and they would both
yeah,
rush up the gut. Sounds like they might have something like that in place for Anthony Smith, which is great. To me, though, it's the easiest, but it is the most exciting. Just hearing more praise about Max Brosmer being legit. I mean, this was the first kind of live bullets we got to see him, in action at all. We didn't have a spring game. There's a couple spring practices that Dickeytown athlete members got to go to, but unfortunately, we weren't able to make any of those. But just hearing praise and how he looks the part, I mean, that's got me excited. I was been hesitant to buy in to this passing game. Still got to have the receivers come out and show it, but for me, it is the encouraging play and compliments that the quarterback Brosmer's getting.
yeah. Well, yeah. Excited. I'm glad this early on. They're looks like they're looking pretty good. Got some camp left in them too, so hopefully they stay healthy and keep improving week after week
Yeah,
in time for that home game against North Carolina.
that's the big thing too. I just want to point out is we haven't had to talk about any significant injuries at this point in camp. When like
Yeah,
last year we lost Cody Lindenberg like 2 or 3 days before the season started. So
right.
knock on wood that nothing like that's in the works. But also just want to shout out Marcus Major because he was out most of spring camp, so we didn't hear a lot about him. There's a lot of I'm on a Bangura from Ohio. I can't pronounce. I forget how his first name's pronounced, but having Marcus Major, who's like a little bit of a different style back, kind of give you that 1-2 punch, like you were saying, Shuddy, just a change of pace back in there. That would be exciting to have three guys that you can lean on. Even though we know Darius Taylor will get the majority of carries, but having Majors
Right.
play a factor in there is going to be nice.
Right. Yeah. It's exciting. It's going to be an awesome awesome season. I'm predicting.
Hope so.
One thing that stood out
Um,
too, sorry, really
yeah,
quick, just to like add into like what the coaches talked about. Sometimes I feel like in the past, PJ sort of tries to make everything seem positive, even if it's like the worst part about the team. But at the media day, like he didn't shy away from last year being like, "Oh yeah, the passing game was terrible," but like he basically made it a point of like we know what the priorities were to like make this offense go, and that's
Yeah.
what we did this offseason. So that at least too is kind of promising that like he's not trying to sugarcoat it. He's just saying like it was terrible, but we think we fixed it. So if
Yeah.
he was coming out and saying like, "Well, it wasn't that bad last year," I feel like that'd be him being like setting low expectations for this season.
Right. Right. Yeah, majors look good as well. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited too. I keep forgetting we have is it Christian Driver, Donald Driver's kid, the
Yeah.
transfer from Penn State. I keep forgetting because he was also a guy that missed most of spring being banged up. And so um, I'm pretty confident in everything Ryan Burns has reported and from what we've heard from people or just read from people that write on the Gophs, just that the starting three receivers will be, Jackson, Lemecki, Brockington, and I'm blanking on 11's Elijah Spencer.
Elijah Spencer.
Yeah. So I feel good that those will probably be the starting three, but you're always going to need depth, and just didn't have a lot of guys that could get it done. So having guys like that just getting added into the mix, interesting to see how that plays out this year.